Filming?
Yep.
Okay. Now, this is a compromise that's been suggested by Mr. Darkin. He's an Africa specialist and likes to conserve his materials. I'm fully in agreement with that. He mentioned that pygmies get away with very short houses.
No, I didn't.
I explained to him that...
I didn't.
I explained to him that pygmies used to be very tall people, but they built short houses and they built fruit cages very similar to this one with a low roof.
Yeah.
And over the millennia,
Yeah.
it evolved to become shorter and shorter and shorter. I don't want that to happen to me. So my proposal is not to use this method. I might do.
Warning, warning, flashing all over the screen. This is English sense of humour. So before everybody rises up and accuses us of being whatever, any word, it's English humour. The point that Mr. Darkin was making was that when the missionary first arrived in Lumbwa, Kenya in 1920 and examined the locals' huts, they were 4 foot high inside. So the inhabitants would crawl into the house, they would cook and sleep with their animals. I don't know the reasons why, but I'm sure in the University of Surrey's library on anthropology, as with the tribes in Uganda, someone has documented it. Carry on, Peter, sorry.
So we're now going to complete this project.
So now the design, we're only using 6 posts, 3 existing, and it's on a slope. So the trade-off, the compromise that the farmer has had to make in this case, is that when he goes into the building, he's going to have to stoop to harvest, but he will have used less materials. Would that be...
I can demonstrate the practicality of it. Now this part is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would have no problem in harvesting this area.
Yeah.
But I do have 5 grandchildren.
Yeah.
And I think as we move into this area here...
And Mr. Massey is a very tall man.
You can see the problem here.
Yeah.
I have grandchildren who are about this high.
Yeah. Well, that'll be all right.
They could be sent under this part and
yeah.
they would harvest strawberries.
So you'd be using your children, your grandchildren, to help harvest?
Yes.
Is that not child labour?
It is.
Is it?
Yes, it is. But I mean, they have to...
There, you see that?
They have to...
learn the ways of their elders.
The tough facts of life.
Right.
Okay, that they are going to be made to work for their blackcurrants.
That sounds good. And if they do, they get some ice cream with it.
Life. Yes.
Excellent.
And some blackcurrants.
So now you're going to put a very expensive net over the top of this.
We'll try and get a cheap net to put over the top.
Are there not any large vegetation fronds that you can stick across as one would back home in Africa? You know, banana fronds.
They would have to be bird-proof.
Well, they
The
are.
whole idea is to keep the birds off.
Okay, so the netting is for another time.
Netting is for another time.
Okay.
We've got 10 minutes to finish this project.
Okay, and given the auspicious date that it is today, do you think there's anybody that we should be wishing a happy Independence Day to?
I think that we could probably send this to Barack Obama.
Yes.
It will give him something to think about.
Yeah.
And it will take his mind off the many knotty problems that the world has to
Well,
solve today.
they're all under. I think they're all under compromising each other at the moment. But
They're all out
but
compromising.
George W. was with Mr. Obama in Dar es Salaam yesterday or the day before,
Well, that really gives us great hope for the future.
signing an accord, and that was such a wonderful sight.
Yeah. So
Okay.
He can sign, can he, George Bush?
George Bush is a very intelligent man. He's doing AIDS in Africa as well.
Is he?
But he and Dick Cheney are buying water in South America.
Right.
And there's a few guys in Canada and elsewhere a bit upset about that.
Right. Buying water?
Yeah, fresh water, because with all the shale gassing that's going on in America, there's a lot of fresh water damage.
Have they thought about the excess baggage charge of flying it back to America?
Well, you know, when you start to talk about large infrastructural projects, canals, underground pipes, underground supersonic trains linking London to Beijing, etc., etc.,
Yeah.
you know, it's quite achievable.
Right. Okay.
Well, one would imagine.
Yes.
And so, for the end of this programme, I'd like to introduce our presenter today. This is Mr. Peter Massey, the former chief forester of
The Commonwealth Development Corporation.
the Commonwealth,
Okay.
and now the CDC
I
Group,
would also like to introduce today our cameraman, who's done a wonderful job,
and proprietor
and proprietor, and
Of?
we will now turn the camera,
of
and he will...
of
Sorry?
proprietor of.
Fruit Growing and Vegetables UK.
No, Farm, Field and Fireside.
Farm, Field and Fireside.
Originally established in 1887,
Originally
trademarked,
in 1887.
and in the process of relaunching.
And in the process of relaunch. My auto cue's gone down, so I'm sorry.
Okay, so time's run out. I'd like to say goodbye to the audience. And
Goodbye, and thank you very much for watching.
any local languages we can come up with? Chichewa or anything?
Siabonga,
Yeah?
Taluta, and Auf Wiedersehen.
And alafu asante sana to taona siku nyingine. Haya, kwaheri.